Hello and welcome back to the Sorare Lounge, hosted by the Sorare Thursday Club, Santé. My name is Ricky, also known as the Sorare Mamba on Sorare, and I'm your host for this Premier League preview special. And I am joined, as always, by my glamorous co-host, the artist formerly known as #1 Everton collector, the full-time duck lover, bread shagger, and the lighter of the beacons of Gondor. It's John Daw, aka DawNado. How are you this evening, sir?
I am good. I am ready to get my shins and calves out like Jack Grealish. Yeah, baby. Let's go.
Just before anything else can happen, we get an Everton reference, as always. We like to start as we mean to go on.
Yes.
I'm sure we'll get to him, actually, in the Premier League preview.
HMS Pistol League is coming into dock, and Everton are on it.
Oh, I thought that was Bristol City's boat this year, but you know.
I'm not sure. Sorry, I've got really distracted. I'm still on a Jack Grealish high from the other day. But
a very, very excited toffee across the podcast hall from me this week. But tonight, as we've mentioned, the podcast focuses on the biggest league in the world as it returns to the Sorare game week lineup. We've got those juicy 5 times hot streaks to play for. And the prices on the market are certainly backing that up as well. We're all looking for those bargains, the right cards to buy, how we're going to make that lovely early money. And we'll do our best to provide you with our insight, however limited that may be. What have we got coming up? We've got predictions, we've got budget squads, we've got Smash or Pass is back for a Premier League special. We've got some toilet tips. We've got the Who Am I quiz, Premier League special, obviously, and loads more. But we're going to start with our predictions for the main places in the league this season. So we know stacks to target and stacks to avoid. We are going to go Premier League predictions. Should we start at the bottom?
Yes,
being an Everton fan who used to hanging out down there in recently, and I mean, I'm wearing a Man United top, and we were 15th last year, so can't really talk relegation puns, not as meaningful this time round. We'll go with relegation teams. 2019 and 18. Probably cards you don't want to be buying unless you want to be running them in Challenger as a championship squad the year after. So we'll start with you, number 20.
Okay, I'm going to go for, now it won't surprise anyone, but I think, is it 3 straight years? The 3 that have come up from the championship have gone straight back down.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it will be 2 this year rather than 3. However, I'm going to go for 20th as Burnley. Now, it might be harsh. I know they've made a few sign-ins, but I'm just not sure they've quite got it in them.
Yeah, I would join you in saying Burnley in 20th place. So There we go. We're 1 for 1 in our predictions so far. Burnley, decent defensive options. Lost Trafford, but got Dubravka and he might arguably be better. But yeah, they've lost Bristol City legend.
I'm not sure they got the goals in their team. I know they've signed Brozier, who obviously we had on loan, and I do think could be a very good player if he just could stop getting injured. So there is that. They have got some good players, don't get me wrong, and they did really well in the Championship last year. I do think they'll maybe give a better fist of it than they did last time they were in the Premier League. But yeah, I'm just not sure. I'm not sure. There's only so much JJ Watt can do, in my opinion. Little NFL reference for you there, but we'll see. And I'm sorry to all the Burnley fans out there. Someone's got to go.
Yep, Tom Brady is the real NFL owner you want nowadays, isn't it? So, JJ, what about done? They've lost Bristol City legend Josh Brownhill.
Yeah, I was literally just about to say, actually, they lost Brownhill.
And they got a rookie coach, haven't they? Who is the manager now?
No, it's Parker, isn't it?
Yeah, still Parker. I'm thinking of someone else I'm going to mention in the bottom 3. Getting ahead of myself. Yeah, not enough there for me. Burnley, 20. Let's go 19.
Okay, 19. I'm going to go with someone who's been in the news the last few days in particular is Leeds United. Once again, a bit of a yo-yo team the last few years. Do you think they're in that sort of weird zone where they're too good for the Championship, aren't they? But don't seem to be able to quite make that jump back up to the Premier League. Made a couple of signings, as you can see there. Longstaff has got some good Premier League experience, but it's not exactly going to set the world alight, I'd imagine. Perry's a good goalkeeper from Lyon, and they got him for good value, considering Lyon are having a fire sale. Anton Stack, I know they bought for good value, but I don't know a huge amount about him. But yeah, I'm just not sure they once again going to have the firepower, and they're certainly not going to have the firepower if their current transfer that's been ruined in the last 24 hours goes through, because Dominic Calvert-Lewin is potentially heading there. And, I really like Dom. He's done some good things for us and scored some really important goals, but he's just not someone I think who's going to be their saviour. I saw a funny thing on Twitter earlier, actually, which was they're getting rid of Bamford, and it listed scored lots of goals pre-2021, as keeps getting injured. There's a long list of things, and they're replacing him with Calvert-Lewin, scored lots of goals pre-2021, always gets injured. It's the exact same profile of player.
Yeah, Bamford had a better Premier League record than Calvert-Lewin, didn't they? And they're getting rid of Bamford and getting Calvert-Lewin in. Yeah. Bit of an odd one. They've got a better goalie, at least, because Meslier was...
Meslier was woeful, yeah.
You're picking on promoted teams again, but, I'm a United fan with a Bristol City season ticket, so, Leeds are not high up on my Christmas list, so fuck them, really.
One thing I would say about Leeds is if they do stay up, it'll be their fans will drag them over the line, because they do have die-hard fans up there, to be fair. I'll give them that.
My dad supports Leeds as well, so a big family rivalry. But yeah, not sure the squad's improved enough. Not sure the manager can cut the mustard. I feel like they're waiting to sack him. They lose the first three, they'll probably chuck him.
Well, they're definitely losing the first one, I'll tell you that, because they are playing Everton. Can't wait to face Jack Harrison and Dominic Calvert-Lewin on a Monday night, first game of the season.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be wanting a piece of Dominic Calvert-Lewin if he goes there either, but I already own his rare, and it's limited because you forced me to buy Everton cards so much over the years. I'm already invested in Calvert-Lewin, whether I want to or not. All right, let's move on to complete the relegation lineup, and who've you got in 18th?
So don't know if this is rogue or not, and obviously they've been a solid Premier League team for a few years, but there seems to be a lot of change this summer, and I'm going to go with Brentford. Obviously Thomas Frank has left. I think ultimately I do think Brentford are a very well-run club, whether that is under Thomas Frank or not, and I do think they're not going to have any off-the-field issues or anything. I'm just not sure if their players are quite good enough. Now they've got rid of Mbeumo. Whistler is training alone and looking like he's going to join Newcastle. They got rid of Flecken, didn't they? Their club captain, Norgard's gone to Arsenal to play 20 games a season off the bench. Thomas Frank has obviously left. Their coach was literally a championship pundit like last year. Where the hell he's suddenly their head manager? I'm not sure they've got the quality. Maybe they'll surprise me, and maybe they'll surprise loads. But I think a lot of people have mentioned Brentford, and I'm not quite sure they're going to cut the mustard this season. They do have Kevin Schade on there. I think Kevin Schade is a good player, but who else have they really got? Yeah,
I mean, they got rid of Mbeumo and Visser, and they're going to replace them with Dango or Taro, who might be a nice pickup actually on Sorare. I mean, I was in on the Bournemouth stacks last year. Maybe a fresh start could do him good. Shard, I think, is all right. And it's just getting rid of Norgard to get Jordan Henderson. When it's not 2018.
I forgot they had Henderson as well. But it's not. I just think it's not looking great. It's like they've already set up their squad for a relegation battle, in my opinion. Maybe they're going to have a really good. Obviously, there's a few weeks left to transfer window at this point, so all could change. Maybe they've obviously got a lot of money to spend, and they're going to be selling Visser pretty soon by the looks of it. But I think they might.
Yeah, that's a pretty quick relegation roundup, because I also had the exact same three in the exact same category. I thought about doing the three promoted teams. I thought I'd branch out. I thought maybe Fulham for a point. I was going to go for them just to try and be controversial and different. They're quite boring. They got Bristol City in the next round of the Cup as well. Fulham at home to Bristol City. So I might be going to their ground.
I debated added Bournemouth in there just because they'd sold basically their entire back line and goalkeeper, but I do think they've actually replaced them quite well in the last week or so. So
I think Bournemouth quite a fun stack as well on. So Bournemouth and Brighton always strike me as quite fun stacks. Yeah, I couldn't slag off Fulham because I'm going to their stadium hopefully in a couple of weeks, and so I want to keep fans on side. Brentford were the ones that dropped down. So Brentford, Leeds, Burnley. Good stuff. We'll move on to, let's go for the European teams 5 to 7, and then we'll do a top 4, and then we can move on to some individual players, Sorare cards we like, smash or pass, blah, 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 Sorare card predictions, all the other stuff. But we're on to the European teams at the moment. We'll miss out mid-table, Let's go for 7.
Okay, 7. I'm going to go with Newcastle in 7. Now, obviously, Newcastle have been in the news a lot, haven't they, in the last couple of weeks or so, mainly due to Isaac fucking them over a little bit, let's be honest. Liverpool screwed over Isaac in the way they sort of dangled a little carrot in front of him and then bought Ekatike. And I just think that's disrupting the whole pre-season for Newcastle. Now, so that's me not thinking they're going to finish in the top 4, top 5, because I do think they're a good team, Newcastle. And they've got some really good players, Bruno Guimaraes. They've got loads of pace in attack. They've scored plenty of goals like they always seem to. They've obviously signed Elanga. They've got Gordon, Murphy, Barnes. There's just pace everywhere. A lot will come down to who they sign to replace Isaac. So it doesn't look like Isaac's going to play for them again, does it? From what I'm seeing. Tonali as well, obviously.
Yeah, been a bitch.
Yeah, and so they got Champions League, right? Newcastle? Yeah, so that was my reasoning. So they're going to be really trying to do really well in Champions League, I think, this year. And they don't have a huge squad, so I do think that's going to sort of drop their Premier League form down to sort of 7th place. So I'm going to go for 7th for them.
Yeah, the signings haven't been very exciting, have they? Isaac Saga's hurt them. They've missed out on a lot of their transfer targets, and they've just picked.
They have. It's been pretty embarrassing.
Anywhere else but Newcastle, take less money. Just steady microphone. Go anywhere else. Missed out on the top transfer targets to end up with Visser.
I do think a lot will happen with Newcastle because they will sell Isaac, and then they'll suddenly have like 100 million to spend. So we will see, but.
Yeah, I hope they fine him for being a dick every day. I hate when players do that.
Yeah.
Works both
as
ways.
As much as I do, find it funny, the fume from Newcastle fans. Like, I really hate it when footballers do this. It's probably more of like a footballer doing it towards like the boardroom, but it's just hurting the fans and the people that have paid their wages. Basically, like people ripped the shit out of Everton when Anthony Gordon was doing it to us, and like. This is why everyone from Everton hates Anthony Gordon now. He's an absolute rat. Like, he refused to train with us for 4 days and was just throwing his fucking toys out the pram like a little twat. And now Isaac's doing it to Newcastle. So
I could feel like the residual rage coming up in you.
Yeah,
but
or take all Everton aside, like I think when a player does this, it's awful. And it just, for me, if I was a team wanting to buy that player that was doing that, I'd be thinking twice about doing it. Like, I think it shows a lot about someone's character.
Yeah, Garnacho's doing it at the moment, isn't he? Chelsea or no one. And you're like,
absolute big timer.
Grow up, mate. Not a bad team because they've got the midweek utility. Toniala and Guimaraes are a great midfield. Tino, Hall, they've got some defenders to come back, haven't they? So they're not a bad little team to have players off on. So like Gordon, I think is relatively reasonably priced. I think he's a really good player. Like you said, Elanga, Murphy, Barnes, etc. So it's picking the starters.
They're trying to sell. They're trying to sign. What's his name from Villa, aren't they? I noticed in the last 24 hours. Ramsey, Jacob Ramsey, is it? And that'd be another decent signing for him. So
the problem could be then with Visser in there as well. picking the right ones for your stack, buying the right players.
Yeah.
So that's why we have experts like Sarah inside to tell us, so we have someone to blame when we buy the wrong ones. That's what I do with you and Everton last year when you made me buy Tim in Brenuganum, and then he never played. Anyway, we're doing really well here. I had Newcastle 7th as well. It's like...
We genuinely haven't discussed this prior to the show, so that's impressive.
Generally haven't. Shall I lead off with 6?
Yes, please, because I'm still having an R in.
You're still having an R in. It's not like you to not be prepared. Okay, 6th place. I moved them around a fair bit, but it is time for Manchester United to enter my list. 6th place. Tough, because obviously they were 15th last year. 15th, lost the cup final to Spurs. Have signed Benjamin Sesko, Mbeumo and Cunha, so their front three is sexy as book. Mbeumo and Cunha are expensive to buy at the moment. Around about the 50 quid mark, I think, still for their limited, proven Premier League players with good scores. And you get the Man United factor, which seems to make every card more expensive. Sesko, a lot of hype about him, very good all-round player. More so, a bit different, say, Gyökeres, goal poacher. So he's exciting. Should take some of the pressure off Højlund. So yeah, attacking-wise, real sexy. Don't seem to have the injury issues they had last season at the moment, start of the season. So bigger squad to pick from. No midweek to worry about. You don't have to worry about rotation. So you can just play your best players every week. Problem is, haven't controlled a game of football since like I don't know. Yeah, when Jordan was on about.
I wouldn't say that's your only issue. I'd say a certain goalkeeper is a big issue for you.
No.
And I'm not even trying to troll you anymore. I mean, the stats and the videos and all the goals you've conceded would suggest that Onana's not a very good goalkeeper.
If I could just finish, I was going to say, exciting new attacking trio. Midfield still can't control a game, which is a problem if you can't get your new attacking trio the ball. Defence is still the same, which wasn't lighting up any fires. Yoro is class, though. But at least we do have a world-class goalkeeper in Andre Onana, who,
absolutely not.
Yeah.
Even the most blindly faithful Man United fan gave in last year and repeatedly said how shit he was. So I think even you've run out of patience for him, mate. Yeah. He's got to go. If you want to have any hope of doing anything, you've got to sell him on the cheap for 15 mil and get someone else in. But hopefully you don't. I'm more than happy to see Onana in goal for you.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, he's not a priority, but he does need upgrading, but he's not a priority. I don't think. Centre midfield, then some defenders, then a goalie. But it should be more exciting to watch Man United this season. Hopefully. Got to be better than 15th anyway. 6th for me. For you?
All right. I've gone Everton. No, I've gone Everton. Right. So maybe this could be equally as mad, to be fair, considering the season they had last year. But I'm going to go for Spurs as 6th place. Obviously, they had an awful season last year, and I do happen to think that was mainly to do with their manager. I don't like to put full blame on the man. Like the players obviously.
You come in for Ange.
Well, the players have to take a lot of responsibility as well. They're the ones on the pitch, but he had them set up so badly. I know they had a lot of injuries last year, and I just think there's going to be a bit more of a regress to the mean now. They've got Thomas Frank in charge, who's a really, really good manager. He's going to get them organised. You'd like to think, or not like to think, because I'm an Everton fan, but you'd like to think there's no way they could have as many injuries as they had last year. So there's going to be less injuries, probably to key men. They basically had their whole normal back line injured, didn't they, for like half the season last year or a third of the season. So, that's going to affect any team, whether you're a team that spent 100 million or a team that spent nothing. So, obviously they are going to be in the Champions League now, so they are going to have to juggle that midweek utility, that midweek games and then the games on the weekend. So that could be tough, but they do have a pretty decent sized squad. I do like a lot of their players. I think Kudus is a very, very good signing for them. I always really rated him.
Would you be paying £69 for this previous scores?
What, Kudus?
Yeah. I know he's at West Ham, but
I mean, that's a lot of money, isn't it? Is that just happened now?
17 minutes ago, £69.
Is that completely out of the norm? How did it go so high? He just scored like a hat trick on it in the.
Yeah, he's done something. He's in the high 40s normally, but yeah, someone's just paid £60.
That seems a lot of money, but yeah, I think Tottenham will do well next year. I think they've still got a couple more purchases to perhaps make. They're getting linked with like Savio, aren't they, from Man City?
That'd be a good one for them. Yeah.
Yeah, and they've got Mateus. They've got Mateus Pell now on the permanent, and I think he'll do well for them. So yeah, I think they obviously lost Maddison. This could be a big miss for them, but they do have quite a lot of good midfielders. So I think they'll do well. I'm going to go for 6th.
Okay, 6th. And Son's gone as well. For all of us to use him as our classic card in the MLS as well. So on to 5th. I have gone for. I haven't got Spurs in mine. Sodom.
Yeah. We're probably going to have the same 5th place, I'd imagine.
Aston Villa for me. You?
Yeah, same.
Aston Villa. Yeah, a lot of stability, I feel like, around the club. Emery's a really good manager that gets the best out of squads. You know, top manager, stable squad. I think, yeah. They've got
a lot of depth, and they're going to have. Is it Europa League they qualify for? Because they lost the year on the last day of the season, didn't they? When they needed to. Yeah, I think there's been some slight rumours about Watkins, and you know, once again, we are doing this in the middle of the transfer window, and a lot could change. But I still think they've got a very good squad. I really like Morgan Rogers. I think Morgan Rogers is great. They signed that Gessand, I don't know how you say his name, from Nice, I think it was. He's a good player. Yeah, they got some really good players, and mainly, I really like their manager. Their squad isn't like exceptional or look that like different to like Spurs or Man United or whatever. I just think they're a really, really well coached team. They all seem so well organised, and I think they'll be the best of the rest when it comes to 5th place.
Yeah, I never really buy Aston Villa players on Sorare. I don't know why. They've just never.
This is the thing. They never look like they're just like a incredible team that just completely smash teams. They just always seem to just win, and they're so well organised. That's what I'm saying. Like, I just think to finish 5th, you need to be consistent and well organised team, and that'll be them for me.
Yeah, just out of interest, where would you have put Everton to finish?
I think we will finish 9th this season.
Okay.
So I think Man United and Everton will probably be around that sort of 9th to 11th place. So what, maybe 8th to 11th.
Oh yeah, you didn't put us in the top 7, did you?
No, not Man United. I just think there's too much for you to. I actually rate your signings you've made this summer, and you do have some Premier League proven quality. Sesko is by far a better striker than what you had previously, but I just think your back 4 and your goalkeeper are just shocking. I'm just being honest. And I think saying 9th for Everton isn't that rogue, considering we finished 13th and 12th for the last couple of years. So
right, we've got a lot to get through still, so let's rattle on through the top 4. I think everyone sort of knows who the top 4 are, but it's what order you're going to put them in. So number 4 for you.
I'm going to go for. Oh God, it's fucking tough, isn't it? I'm going to go for Liverpool 4th.
Oh,
yeah,
Liverpool. Okay.
Yeah. Reason being, I don't like Liverpool.
You support Everton.
Right. Yeah. Move on. No, they're obviously the champions from last seson. It's worth mentioning that Salah's going to be missing for sort of 8 weeks is it 8 weeks or 6 weeks of the Premier League for AFCON. Do you think, Liverpool won the league last year, but if there was a team that didn't shit their pants, they shouldn't have really won the league. Liverpool weren't that great last year. They were much better the 4 or 5 seasons they lost to Man City in the Premier League. I watch a lot of games of football, including Liverpool, and they were really weak at the back. Obviously, they've got rid of Trent, who was part of that weakness. Van Dijk is not the same Van Dijk he was 5 years ago, and I don't give a fuck who says that he is. He's literally not. Alisson made a lot of errors last year. Robertson was rubbish. I know, obviously, they've signed Kirkes, they've signed Frimpong. Frimpong's an absolute liability at the back as well, and he's more of a winger than he is a right back. Canate's getting rumoured to be moved away. They are strong in midfield, Liverpool, but so I still think they're obviously going to do really well. But my Everton hat is making me put them fourth out of the four.
Okay, you put Liverpool fourth. I put them first, and that's before they get Isak as well. I just think Gakpo is class. I think he's going to have a much better season. Midfield is stacked. I think Van Dijk is still really good. I like Frimpong. I think Kirkes is really aggressive and attacking down the left. Ekitike, fucking hell, they've got so many.
They might have signed someone really good from Bayer Leverkusen as well. I'm not sure, but other than that,
they've just got this. They seem to have got a German wonder kid as well, Wirtz, who is one of my favourite footballers in the world. Now plays for the team I dislike massively, which is painful. Unfortunately, however much I want to pick anyone else apart from Liverpool, I can't. They're going to win it for me. So 4 for you and 1 for me. So let's go for your 3.
I'm going to go for Arsenal.
Arsenal.
Yeah. No, I obviously I think they're a very good team, great squad. I've added that striker they've been desperately requiring for about 5 years in Gyökeres, and I do think Gyökeres will do well. Obviously, you've got your transfers up there. Zubimendi is a very good player. Norgard is solid, if not unspectacular. It's probably going to be a rotation for midweek games. Madueke, I'm not too sure. I guess he'll do all right, but he plays the same position as Saka, right? So maybe that's just to sort of cover Saka a little bit. Mosquera is a solid player.
I think I prefer him to Trossard and Martinelli.
Yeah, but I think they'll do really well. It's difficult because I feel like I'm having to say negatives for the fact I think they're going to be third. Like, they're still going to be a really, really good team. But I do think they have got previous of gassing it. They've been gassing it for under Arteta, haven't they? And, should maybe have won two trophies in that time and have won nothing. They might be in the position to challenge the Premier League, but they will probably shit their pants.
Okay, so Arsenal 3rd for you. I had them 4th. They do bad. They've got the striker they badly needed. I like Mosquera as I thought he's dirt cheap, and Zubimendi, I think, is absolute class as well. But I don't really like Arteta. No. I think they missed their perfect opportunity when they were the best team in the league to win the title, and I think they messed it up. So now I don't think they're the best team in the league. So, more difficult than it was for them to win. But they do have the number 9. So can that make the difference? Not sure. Just not a fan of the manager.
That is fine.
Okay, so Arsenal 4th and 3rd. Who have you got 2nd then?
So I've gone for Chelsea. 2nd. Chelsea. Now, it's a tricky one because I probably wouldn't have had them anywhere near 2nd if you'd asked me like halfway through last season. But you can't keep stacking your squad with such good players and not be really good. Like, they're just spending 50 mil a week on really, really fucking good players. And they've obviously just won. They won the Conference League, didn't they? They won the Conference League to qualify for the Europa League, but they qualified for the Champions League anyway through their position, right?
Yeah.
And then they won the Club World Cup, which I think shocked everyone. I didn't see it coming. But a squad of players just repeatedly winning trophies is going to breed confidence. And I just think a team of new players having also won 2 trophies in a short period of time, and the player's been really good, is just going to mean they're going to have a really good season. And I'd have them right up there pushing who I think is going to finish first.
I think they're class. They bought such good young talent and spread out their contracts over forever that they just kept doing it over and over again. Now the original ones are maturing into like prime peak levels.
They got so many players. They got so many players.
Tito Enzo Lavia is insane midfield. They bought Liam Delap, which I thought was great, and then just upgraded him 2 weeks later with João Pedro, Neto, Palmer.
Yeah. They got They got Esteval, who's like one of the best young players in the world. They got Andre Santos, who is it Andre Santos?
Yeah. Then they signed Gibbons, and then they might get Colwell.
Savvy Simmons.
Yeah.
They got Palmer, obviously. They got Ben Chilwell. Look at him.
Got Ben Chilwell.
I do think they are weak at keeper, so that is worth mentioning. But they seem to really love Sanchez all of a sudden. I think he must have had a really good Club World Cup. I didn't really watch it, but
I would have kept Petrovic, but
same.
What do I know? I don't win the Club World Cup.
The squad is a joke. The squad is an absolute joke. They can't keep getting away with this. There's that famous game. They can't keep getting away with it. They've just got so many players. So we'll see.
Okay, so that's a third and a second for Chelsea, which means there's one club left, which would be my second place team and your provisional champions, Man City. So
I just think they can't have another season like they had last year. There's no way. And where did they even finish last year in the end? Was it second in the end after all that?
Yeah.
Did they finish third? Did they catch Arsenal? No, I think they ended up finishing third.
They bought it at the end, didn't they?
Yeah, they ended up finishing third. So even they had their worst season in fucking like a decade and they still finished third. Rodri, I know, has picked up a little injury, so he's going to be out a few weeks, but they're probably going to have Rodri for 2/3 of the season, if not most of it. They've got Cherky, who I fucking love, Ryan Cherky. They've signed Reinders, who's really, really good, is going to do so well in the Man City system. Ait Nouri is basically going to play as a left striker, isn't he? Let's be honest. He's not going to have to do a huge amount of defending, and he's a really good player. Marmoush is absolute quality as well. Like, they've got so many good players in the right areas. It's difficult to not see them do well. Plus Pep. So I think they're going to be back to winning ways this season.
Yeah. Rodri's injury is a little bit of a setback, but they got their business done nice and early thanks to the Club World Cup. So they've had time to bed in. Yeah, and I think they'll be really, really strong. I still have a few.
Foden should maybe be back and firing because he had a weirdly off season last year. He went from he won the Premier League Player of the Year as voted for by like players and managers the year before, and then basically didn't play football last year. I don't know what happened. So you'd presume he's going to come back, even if he's half what he was the year before. It'll be better. So yeah,
they're very, very deep in their options. But second for me, first for you. So we got a Liverpool and a Man City champions. Same top four, just in a different order. Man United were shunned from your European teams, and the same three to get relegated. So there we go. That's what we think the main runners and riders are going to be for this season. And we move on now. Going to break up some of the predictions before we get into individual players we like on Sorare with the Who Am I Premier League quiz special.
It's time for the Who Am I quiz. Can DawNado finally get one right?
The Who Am I quiz. You are on an absolute roll. You've nailed the last one. Before that, awful. But you did get the last one in 2 clues, which was a minor miracle. For those that don't know, I'll give you 7 clues to guess a player who has a Sorare card. And if you get it right, I'll give it away. And if you don't, you have to add it to your giveaway pot. Last time was Dries Mertens. So I picked up Super Rare. Did I pick up a rare of his because for someone to add to their collection? But that's nice. In my pot. And when they get heavy enough that they make for a good giveaway, we'll give them all away.
Love it.
So we'll jump straight in.
Okay.
So all you know is he's got a Sorare card, and this is a Premier League special. So hint. See if you can do it in 2. See if you can beat 2 from last time.
I'll do it in 1. Let me just guess before you even ask a question.
Okay.
Is it Callum Wilson?
It's not Callum Wilson.
Oh.
I think you'll get it. I think you'll definitely get it. Okay. Question clue 1. He was born in Portsmouth, and then he went on to make 344 appearances and score 49 goals for his first club after making his debut at 16. Clue 2. He was promoted to the Premier League with this club and scored his first top-flight goal in April 2015 in a 2-0 win against Hull.
Is it Gareth Bale?
No.
Oh, fuck, I thought that was right there.
Clue 3. In 2023, he moved to his current club in the Premier League, scoring 8 times and 52 appearances.
So in his current, as in he's still there right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Clue 4. He's still at that club for this season, but spent last season on loan at a Premier League rival playing 9 times.
Okay.
Clue 5. He has 11 England caps and 2 goals. And now I think this might be the one that gives it to you. Clue 6. He's known for his golf club celebration.
Oh, James Ward-Prowse.
There we go.
I should have got it a bit earlier than that. That's
James
a good one. I was trying to think of Southampton players when you said Portsmouth, because that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, tried to throw the born in Portsmouth, but he played for Southampton. Got promoted, bang loads of goals. The last clue was from the start of the 2019 season through to the end of the 2020-21 season. He played every moment of top flight football, becoming the first top flight player to do so. 2 seasons in a row without missing a minute.
Wow.
And was known for his set piece prowess.
Absolutely. The Portsmouth Beckham.
Yeah. Known for his set piece prowess was the last 6 words. So I think that would have given it to you.
Nice.
There you go. James Ward-Prowse.
Love it.
So I have to add him to my pot. James Ward-Prowse. Congratulations, mate. 2 in a row.
Get in.
James Ward-Prowse. So we still got Smash or Pass Premier League special to come. Sorare card predictions, S05 budget lineups, toilet tip for the year, and our own Premier League plans. So as we were doing predictions, let's stick on the predictions theme and let's go for our Sorare cards predictions. So this is just some normal categories, and we're going to pick a player who we think would be the best for that one. So as an example, the first one is the best Sorare Premier League player of the season. So from a Sorare perspective, is what I'm trying to get to. The best Premier League Sorare card of the season.
Well, I think
the World Series budget is no option.
I think from a Sorare perspective and from a real life perspective, this will probably be the same card in my opinion. Same person. I'm going to go for Cole Palmer.
Cole
obviously burst onto the scene the year before last, didn't he? A little bit. Obviously, people knew about him. Everyone was sort of like, how's he going to do at Chelsea? Absolutely nailed it first season, didn't he? He was incredible. Last year, I think he struggled a bit, didn't he? I think he not famously, but he came out and said he was struggling a little bit with his form for some reason. He didn't know why. Blah, 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 blah. Obviously, I think you own a card, right? So you know firsthand how frustrating he perhaps was to own because he could put in an amazing score, get sod all.
I had an in-season Chelsea stack, and I had the classic Cole Palmer from my Man City collection, and I captained him every fucking week. And he had that really bad spell, and it was a nightmare.
You just know as soon as you stop captaining him, he would do amazing. But yeah, I just think
just one thing. When I think, what do you think of the shiny 100 column?
Yeah, it's interesting. I didn't like it at first, but I do kind of like it now.
I didn't like it first because it came up black originally on the little.
Did it? Okay.
Little thing to start with, and then they fixed the bug. I didn't like it to start with but now I think I quite like it.
I quite like it. It's kind of like platinum. I guess they, might have wanted to do gold, but then gold would look too much like yellow, which is the shit score. So, but yeah, I like it. I think it's decent.
Shiny column of goodness.
Shiny column.
Carry on.
Yes. So I just think he's going to be still the man at Chelsea. I know they've made all these incredible signings that we've talked about, but I still think he's going to be the man. He's probably still going to take all the penalties. With their 19 attackers they've got, they're probably going to win quite a lot of penalties, you'd think. He's going to be playing balls into João Pedro and and I've forgotten his name.
Liam
Delap, rather than Jackson, who, I used to rate Jackson a little bit because he runs and he's chaos a little bit, but he's had some bad finishing as well. And I think Cole Palmer would have probably done a lot better and got away with some less good performances last year if he had someone actually able to put the ball in net a bit better. So yeah, that paired with the fact I think Chelsea can do really well this year means that I think Palmer will be the best value card, best card in Sorare.
Yeah, he should be for 150 to 170.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of money for limited, but
well, we are having 5 times hot streaks on your first game week, isn't it? First one you enter.
Yeah.
So if
and
you
then
hit
double,
that,
and then double or triple for the next 5 weeks or 4 weeks, something like that.
Is it?
I think it is. Yeah, I think it's just 5 times for the first week, and then it's still the original promo, which was double hot streaks for the next until like the 6th game week or something.
Not saying I don't pay attention, but there's so many different hot streaks, and
But I just know something and you didn't.
You might have known something. The hot streaks. There's a lot going on.
There is a lot going on, to be fair.
But yeah, it's 25 quid in limited, isn't it, for the first week? So even I was like, I'm going to avoid this. I'm not getting sucked into these prices. Like I now have 8 Premier League players, and I'm like, well, I may as well make 2 teams. Oh, fucking why not? All right, good stuff. Cole Palmer, staying patriotic. I have picked someone. I don't want to pick him. I don't want it to be true. I'd be very happy if he was terrible, but I think he might be the best player in the Premier League.
Mate, you're talking about Liverpool being good quite a lot on this show so far.
In the league. And he might have a settling in period, maybe, but I do think he's good. If our budget was no issue and I could own 1 Premier League card this year, I think I would go for slightly less money than Cole Palmer.
I was going to say, who is he actually less value or more value than Palmer?
I wouldn't have had him as less value.
Well, it's because you love Liverpool for some reason.
I don't love Liverpool. Don't say that. It's mean. His scores were incredible by Leverkusen, and I think Liverpool are going to dominate a lot of games. They've got a lot of firepower to finish chances. I think he's really good. I just think he might be the best player in the Premier League come the end of the season. I've really liked him for a long time, and he would have been a dream for Man United to get. So the fact he's gone to Liverpool really hurts. But
and obviously I'm not blind. He's an absolutely incredible footballer. One thing I would say is I'd be impressed if he can maintain the scores he had in Germany in the Premier League. Just purely, and this isn't a diss, I just think that the quality of teams in the Premier League is going to be a lot higher as a whole league than what Germany is, maybe, perhaps. But
it's not a diss, though, mate. Not a diss.
It sounds a lot like a diss. But
a bit like a diss, mate, yeah.
A bit of a diss. But there's just a lot more mouths to feed at Liverpool, isn't there? A lot more mouths to feed. So we'll see. But
yeah, look at this. 32 against Dortmund after coming on the sub. Crap, mate. Bayern, 45. Oh, he's going to get roasted when he comes up against Harry Maguire.
Shit against Bayern, shit against Dortmund, shit against Atletico Madrid.
Oh,
there we go.
Flying up here.
He's fucking shit.
Oh, he's got Casemiro's going to have him on toast.
Mate, I'd like to see him try and get away from Idrissa Gueye. He ain't getting away from him.
Maybe we take it all back. Does have midweek utility and international utility for a very good international team as well. So, yeah, I mean, I think he's a really good card. Maybe Maguire will pocket him. I'm not too confident, though. No. So, Vitz for me. Let's move on. Vitz and Maguire. Let's go for best signing of the season so far from a Sorare perspective.
Okay. For me, so you're talking about Liverpool loving. I'm talking about Chelsea loving quite a lot, I feel, on this. It might have to do with the fact we did our fantasy football draft the other day, and I drafted both the players I'm talking about here. So, sign of the season is someone that has come from a Premier League team to another Premier League team. I'm going to go for João Pedro.
Nice, like
I
it.
think he's always been someone that stood out quite heavily for Brighton. He stood out heavily for Watford as well when he was at Watford. Incredibly good player. He's feisty as well. Like, he gets involved. He's not a shy, retiring type. He is smashing you as well if you want. He's fucking horribly good finisher as well. So
João Pedro.
He's going to be the guy. I think Delap's probably a little bit pissed off, isn't he? Let's be honest, because he very almost joined Everton. That's not just me saying that, but he had lots of other offers on the table. I think Man United asked him as well.
Yeah, Newcastle.
Yeah, and Newcastle might have been a good fit for him. Like, he could have gone somewhere and been the man. I think. I don't think he's going to be the man now. I think João Pedro is going to be the man unless there's an injury. But yeah, I think João Pedro is going to do really, really well for Chelsea this season.
Yeah, strong price as well. 80 odd quid.
Yeah.
He will do you if you want, I think is what you said. So yeah, that's a line to lead with. Yeah, good player. Again, yeah, I thought Liam Delap was going to be the man, and then they plucked out João Pedro. And yeah, I wasn't sure I was completely set on it when they did it, but yeah, it makes complete sense now. And looks. And
he hit the ground running, didn't he? Like, did he score 3 or 4 goals in the Club World Cup in 4 games? Some of them really good goals as well. So yeah, I think we'll do well.
I must admit, I had Chelsea's in-season stack from last year, so if I was going to use them in Classic, I did think about picking him up as well, but he's very expensive at the moment, so maybe a Classic card. But yeah, very interesting. I have gone for Zubimendi.
Solid, yeah. Very
Zubimendi. Base this a little bit differently. Maybe I was looking at him a bit as more like a most improved player on Sorare as a signing. He is one of the best players in his position in the world in real life. But obviously from Sociedad to Arsenal, he's moving to a more dominant team on the ball. So like maybe he's going to replicate. He has really good scores at Spain, but maybe not so much for Sociedad. So when I was looking at his scores on international duty, I was like, now he's at Arsenal and he's going to have a lot of the ball, a lot more possession, attacking prowess. I thought he'd be really tasty and maybe replicate those Spain scores more. And his price was pretty nice, I think, when I was looking at it, which gives you that value to grow at a top team, which gets midweek and international duty as well. So I thought the utility, current price, and the potential for his scores to be really good. I liked Zubimendi about 29, 23, 33, 25. If I get him at 23 to £25, I thought it could be very nice.
Solid pick, and he's going to be nailed, isn't he, in one of the best teams in the Premier League? Like, what's Rice's price? Rice's price is right.
Rice is right.
Like, they're going to both start in centre mid, aren't they? No cards for sale. Interesting, but I rate Zubimendi a lot. He doesn't seem to have that sort of decisive sort of edge to his game, does he, Zubimendi? But he will get a lot of AA. And I do think if you did buy one at £20 to £25, you could probably make a profit on it if you were to sell it in a few weeks' time. Yeah,
you're looking at Rice 85 to 90s. I'm hoping Zubimendi gets more of these. He's not going to have the set pieces that Rice has, but I'm hoping he gets more of these.
Arteta's been waxing lyrical about Zubimendi, isn't he? Obviously, a Spanish centre midfielder himself, so could do really well. I don't think that's a bad pick at all.
And really good in real life as well, I think. I think it's a good signing for Arsenal. All right, let's move on to the best under-23 player of the season. Again, we're not at the budget section yet. You can do whatever you want.
So we are just basically talking about the best of the best here, aren't we? Yeah. But I'm going to go for someone that I've mentioned already on the show and I've mentioned many times before, Ryan Cherky. He's so good at football. Like, he's insane. The only issue is obviously he's going to be in Pep Roulette now. So, that he was nailed at Lyon. Owns limited and is rare, have done for ages. He's still probably about 14 years old, I swear. He's been so young for so long. But yeah, he's an insane footballer. And if he can just nail down that position, which is a big if. Obviously,
Big
Man
if.
City, they're going to have a lot of games across a lot of competitions, so who knows? But if he can nail down that position, he could absolutely cook for Man City, don't you think? I mean, he's a joke.
Yeah, I always feel like my view of him is like warped because he was a Football Index hero, wasn't he? Everyone wanted Cherky. He's been bigged up for so long, and then suddenly he's gone to Man City.
But he's just, I watched his clips of him. He really did. Obviously, he's been showing amazing skills and YouTube highlights for 5 years. But last year for Lyon, he became really consistent, really good, playing 90 minutes every week. You can see his scores there. He was nailed in. I capped him in my under-23 limited and rare every single week, and he'd get me 130 points, with his captain bonus on top. He's so good. So I feel like he's matured a little bit because he's always had that little bit of an attitude problem, it seems. Now, granted, Lyon have had a lot of issues behind the boardroom in the last couple of years, so maybe that's not helped. They've been trying to sell him, trying to keep him, trying to offer a new contract, trying to sell him again. It's been a lot of stuff up in the air with him, so it's probably not helped. But yeah, I think if Pep can get a tune out of him, he could absolutely cook. So that's what I'm going for.
Predicted to start season. Yeah, what are we looking at? We're looking at 60 odd quid for in season and 12 quid for classic. Yeah, I think he can cook when he's playing. The problem every Man City attacker is when they're playing.
It's a gamble, but it's a gamble I'd be willing to take.
I watched him play against United in the Europa League. Yeah, he's very silky, very sexy, good highlight reel. Yeah, like you said, will definitely smash. But when is he going to smash, and when is he going to be on the bench? That is the question. Me, I wanted to go for some cool, trendy pick, but then I saw that this guy was still an under-23 for the next season, and really, he might be the best player in his position in the league. So I have to stick. I have to be true, stick to the category, and pick the player that I think is the best under-23 player in the Premier League, Moses Caicedo. He already has an average score of 62 in his last 15. He's absolutely cooking in a team. Well, you've been bumming him for half this podcast already, so he's really good, and I think gets better. So, yeah, Moses Caicedo.
Yeah, and he was adding goals and assists a little bit in the end of last season, it seems. He was playing really well. He's an extremely good player. One thing I would say now is he might have to be even more defensive-minded than he was prior, just because they've got so many attacking players trying to fit in. But that doesn't necessarily mean the Sorare scores will get affected. He'll get AA coming out of his ass, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was going to say he might not be a sexy pick, but he's already got the L15. It's delicious, and
he's going to get
right back points
a lot, minimum.
Yeah, he was playing right back a lot, wasn't he? When they had his issues, he'd go in and play right back a lot next season. So hopefully, he doesn't have to do that. And yeah, he's an AA machine. So good in his position. He's expensive, mid 70s or £8 for a classic.
Seems cheap. Classic.
Yeah. So I wanted to pick someone fancy, but I think he's the best. He's one of the best midfielders in the league, if not the best in his position. So yeah, if you want the best under 23 player, I think it's him. There you go. Move on to the next category, bust of the season. You can have a bust. Put whatever explanation on it you want, whether it's because the transfer that's going to fail or someone that's going to fall from grace or whatever you want to do. Bust of the season.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you go first? Because I thought about this earlier and then didn't write it down in my notes. So,
okay, yeah, it might be best if you're not paying attention to my bust of the season.
Great.
I'm going to go for Jack Grealish.
Twat.
Twat. Jack Grealish, this is generally not just because you're an Everton fan.
Sure.
He's been so hyped up since he's moved that he's going to like revolutionise Everton, and he's like the messiah to take them to the next level. And I'd rather have McNeil or NDI. He's not played much football. He's had all of the excitement sucked out of him at Man City, of taking on players, and
I've left. I won't listen to it anymore.
Yeah, probably for the best. Of taking on players and skillful. Everything that made him Jack Grealish at Villa has just like been taken away from him. He's approaching 30. He's been on the lash for like 6 years, and what has he got left in the tank?
So have we, mate. Come on.
So have I, yeah, but I don't get paid that $100,000 to play football. So,
bloody hell.
Yeah, for me, what's he going at now? 30 quid for Jack Grealish at Everton. The ceiling's probably quite high, I'll give you that. Maybe he's revitalised, trains on, detoxes, and has a new lease of life, big fish in a small pond, starts taking everyone on. Left wing Jesus is back. Don't see it. I think maybe he'll be solid for you. I just don't think he'll be the messiah he's being made out to be.
Can I come back on that?
I'm sure you're going to, yeah.
Okay, go fuck yourself. Jack Grealish is our saviour, and he is going to cook in the number 10. I keep saying that word. I need to stop saying that. I'm not American. He is going to do really well in the number 10 role. Back to his Aston Villa days of when he could just play freely and not have Mr. Rigid Pep Guardiola telling him how to cut back inside all the time. Davy Moyes is going to get a serious tune out of him. I just want him to stay fit. That's the biggest issue I've got in my head, because there's no doubt in his quality in my eyes. And there's no doubting those calves. You can't doubt those calves, Ricky.
Maybe he'll play with his socks up now. He's a new. Yeah.
Okay, so I was debating saying Ekatike because he's a bit of a clown and he is the most expensive player in the Premier League and plays Liverpool. But I had a change of mind.
We're not going to dig out the whole of Merseyside in one section.
And I'm going to go for Brian Mbeumo.
Oh, I see. I went for an Everton player. Now you seem to change to a Man United player.
No, in all seriousness, I was debating doing one of the 3 Man United players that they've spent stupid loads amount of money on. Sesko, I think, is decent. Cunha, I think, is decent. I just think Mbeumo is coming from somewhere where he was the man, and he's just not going to be the man anymore. So I'm not sure it's quite going to go. And they paid 75 mil. You went back and forth with Brentford for about fucking 2 months and ended up paying the exact money that Brentford wanted from the first place. He's not going to be taking penalties. He's just not sure. He's like, when he first was in the Prem for Brentford, I didn't think he was that great. He looked a little bit rusty, bit rough around the edges. He had you bought him at his absolute peak from last season. I don't think he's ever going to get better than that. So we'll see. I think he's not going to be getting you anywhere near the goals that he got for Brentford. Let's put it that way. You'd be lucky to get 10 goals from him this season.
What? No, it's fine, mate. I respect your opinion. If that's what you want to say.
5-0.
Yeah. Look at these scores. He's in his prime.
I can't see any scores, mate. You're not showing me anything.
Okay. I just wanted to keep it to myself because I like it so much. I think was he like second or top goal scorer in the Premier League last season?
That's not that great though. His scores
like second in. I don't know. He's very high up in every category. I think he fits perfectly what we need to do. Sure. Proven Premier League player in his prime age. And
he's off on AFCON for 6 weeks, probably.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah. I can't wait for so rare AFCON special this year where I can.
Yeah, like they did last year.
Yeah, 40 quid is. I think that's a reasonable price when I've looked at like Declan Rice at 95 and Cole Palmer at 150. I quite like it. 5 quid for a classic. So we've traded volleys of Everton Man United abuse there. And somehow we've ended up on Jack Grealish and Mbeumo.
We've ended up on 2 players that don't wear shin pads.
Yeah. Mbeumo and Grealish have somehow become bust of the season. Feels like we might have gone slightly personal for this one. We'll have to come up with a Grealish versus Mbeumo bet for the season that we can run on the podcast. I think that's the way to go. It's the only way to settle that, the Mbeumo versus Grealish section of the show. All right, let's move on. Let's do, what have we got left? Toilet Tip, S05 Budget Lineup, and Smash or Pass Premier League Special. Which one do you want to do? I'll let you pick.
Maybe we'll go for S05 Budget Team of the season.
Okay, an S05 Budget Lineup. So we can
go one by one player by one, rather than one team by one team.
Sure. We just done all the luxury players we choose if money was no object. So now let's go for a budget lineup. There was no strict value limit, but as low as reasonably possible while still trying to hit the hot streaks.
Yeah, and bearing in mind the prices of any limited Premier League card right now, like in season, is ridiculous. So yeah,
there is. Yeah, so I think my budget is, I've gone 40, 55, 60, about 65 quid for mine.
Mine's about 40, so 20
so,
for a keeper and then like £4 to £5 for 4 outfielders.
I have found it in Challenger and Contender already that I've hit 1 and 2 with a very basic teams, so it is doable.
It is doable, but that Premier League value on these cards just makes it so much more difficult, doesn't it?
You're paying up. You really need to get that 25 quid through the door straight away to start paying some of it back. So fixtures are quite important as well. So let's lead with our goalkeepers then, shall we? Do you want to go first?
Sure. So this is a keeper from a team I said would get relegated, so not a great start. But I've gone, and actually I said they finished 20th, but I've gone for Dubravka.
And surprised you didn't pick Sanchez, mate, with your Chelsea love in today.
Yeah, maybe. But Dubravka at 20 to £25, I think, in season. So that tends to be roughly what the cheapest keeper is for in-season keepers, I think, right now.
12, 13, 10.
Okay, I'm not seeing what your screen is if you're looking.
Sorry, we passed the hour mark now. It's getting tough for me to remember to keep sharing the screen again. Yeah, 10's day, 13, 12. So yeah.
Okay, so a bit less than I actually thought originally.
Doing yourself justice.
Yeah, so I think he's gonna be leaving Newcastle to play. So he's probably going to start. I think he's a good keeper. I think he's actually famously good for his shot stopping, I would say. And I think Burnley are going to face a lot of shots. So I think he's going to get a lot of points. Also, that's just reminded me, actually. Sorare announced there was going to be no negative decisive for 3 goals, right?
Yeah.
That hasn't started yet, is it?
Is it starting game week 1 this weekend?
Maybe it's starting game week 1, but so I think that will make a big difference to a lot of players, a lot of keepers across the whole of Sorare, but especially for teams that aren't particularly going to do that well, perhaps. So yeah, Dubravka. I'll go for Dubravka. He's also got international utility, I think, unless he's retired in the last few months. I don't know of, but I think he starts for Slovakia as well. So there is a little bit of added extra utility for you and those annoying international breaks. But yeah, go for Dubravka. He's going to be a busy man. He's obviously old. What is he, 36? So there is that. But I think for 20 quid to maybe hit 1 or 2 streaks for the season will be worth it. So
he's obviously old. Spurs and then Sunderland, which isn't the worst. 2 fixtures first up. Although over here it says early talk of Dubravka not being fit and Hladachi being the likely starter. Although it's still 60% Dubravka at the moment. So
not great then. But if you look obviously if you're looking for the first streak, maybe that's a bit risky. But throughout the whole season, I think for that value you'll get some money back in your hot streaks for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I've heard lots of people talk about Burnley all right defensively as well, aren't they? Even if they potentially haven't got enough firepower to score many goals. My goalkeeper, Big Sexy himself, Andre Onana.
You're
Save
deluded.
my goals. Onana. Protect my nets. Onana.
So bad.
I'm not even taking the piss.
You should be, because he's fucking shit, mate.
Oh, look.
He keeps making errors that mean the ball goes in the net.
Johnny, look, you need to get past his hate. You're correct. He does put some stinkers in, but then he also puts some good performances in. And he's the Man United goalkeeper.
What does that mean?
Well, they can't be 15th again, surely.
Why? Why not?
But they're going to be better than 15th.
Well, Ibremo's going to completely crash and burn, as we've already discussed.
He's going to get less than 10 goals, you said, yeah. United unlikely to have any money to replace him this season, so he's going to be the starting goalkeeper. He's back in training, so he might even start the first game of the season. Maybe that's why his price is a little low, because there was doubts over whether he'll be there for the first one. But I'm picking him without bias, based on the fact that today he was going for 25 quid and he's the Man United goalie. What's Jordan Pickford going for? 90?
Well, it's because he's elite.
Yeah, but Raya, all the big goalies, Onana's so low down the value tree of the Premier League goalkeepers. I'd pay double a Dubravka to get an Onana to get a Man United goalkeeper. I think 25 quid is really, really low in this Premier League table of goalkeeper values. He doesn't have midweek, obviously. He's a Cameroon goalie still, isn't he? They haven't got rid of him yet.
I don't think so. I think they might be able to be trying to transfer him out of Cameroon as well to a different nationality.
No, I'm not having this slander.
One thing I would say is, if something does happen with him in the next month where he leaves, he's probably going to try and leave somewhere he's going to start, right? So even if you did buy an in-season keeper of his quality for £25 and he does move, you're probably going to still have a starting in-season goalkeeper somewhere else.
95 quid for Raya. Pickford is 70 odd. 25 quid for Man United. He's going to be the goalie. There's no money. If they buy anyone else, it'd be a centre midfielder. He's going to be the goalie at Man United. And
but Everton are good, though. They're good at keeping clean sheets, and Man United are not.
New season, new Man United. You can't ignore the value. It's
all right, whatever.
I'd rather have 3 Onanas than 1 Pickford.
No, you wouldn't.
It's budget, though. You can't pick Jordan Pickford in a budget.
I know.
Lineup. Andre Onana and Dubravka lead the way. Let's move on.
Fine.
Defenders.
Okay. So, defender for me, I actually went for 2 defenders in my stack of 5. I don't know if you did too, but I went for Mings as one of them. Never liked Mings as a person until he got Greenwood running scruff the net the other day, and I got some respect for him. But actually scores quite well AA wise when he plays for Villa. Obviously had a horrific injury, which I think was right at the end of the season before last, which meant he missed most of last season, potentially. It was an ACL, I think. But he came back and plays, and actually Villa's defensive record is way better when Mings plays. And I think at £4, I think it was £4 for limited, which sounds a lot when you think of what limited cards cost, but actually that's right on the cheaper end of new in-season cards. And like we've discussed previously, I think Villa are going to be a good team this year. So it depends on whether he can stay fit. Villa do have some other centre-back options, and there's probably going to be a bit of rotation with Europe, etc. But I think he's still club captain, if I'm not mistaken. And I think he's going to start if he's fit. So that's why he's in there. When I was looking up that value chart and saw Mings down there with all the nobodies, I was like, get him in.
Yeah, he's it got to the point where if you're paying over 50p for a card at the end of last season, when you were horrified. But we got that optimism now, and we're all loving it. We'll give it Give it like 5 months. When
a few DMPs and people will be like, fucking hell!
They're worth half what they were worth 2 days ago. This is a joke. I hate it.
Yeah.
Sorare 27. Oh, I bloody love it.
Is this his? Show me his scores on that screen somewhere.
He's actually £2, £1.70.
Okay. So actually, that's a good point. I was looking at instant buy values for these players, so obviously it's going to be a bit higher. But scores wise, when he plays, he's got solid AA. Obviously, you're seeing a lot of injuries there. I think a few of them are European midweek games from last season, so not necessarily injuries. But yeah, I think he'll have a good season. 29, is he 29 years old? Like, he's coming into his prime really at that age. So
he's just got to fight off Torres and Cons there, isn't they? But
yeah,
they do have midweek, so he will get games, and he's very cheap, which is not something you say about a card in this new batch of releases. All right, Tyrone Mings for you. Let's do my defender now. We put your other defender in the extras at the end. I have gone for more expensive than you. You'll probably like it though because he plays for Chelsea. I've gone for Tosin Adarabioyo. Sorry, Tosin. I'm crap with pronunciation. It's not just you, it's me. Tosin, about £15, I think, when I looked earlier. I think Chelsea will do very well, as do you.
Still, yeah.
You midweek Europe. Colwell's obviously out, which is like the big reason why he wouldn't have been my pick until, unfortunately, Colwell got injured. So that makes me think Tosin is a cheap route into Chelsea's defence. Obviously, who else they got in there? Badia Shiel, Shalabar, and they've signed Hato from Ajax, who could be left back or centre back cover.
Yeah.
£11 4 hours ago, 12, 13. So yeah, pretty reasonable. Less than I thought. £12 is pretty nice. So yeah, Chelsea, I think, will have a season, good defence, win lots of games, lots of possession, lots of the ball, lots of midweek. So I think he's a chance to put up good scores. And thanks to an injury, yeah, I think he's likely to see a lot of game time. 8% start first game of the season. So yeah, at least week 1, if you were chasing down those hot streaks, he should be a good option for you there. Maybe Hato comes into the equation long term. I don't know. Badia Shiel was mainly in Europe last year, wasn't he? Yeah,
it's not that good, Badia Shiel. They got Fofana as well, obviously, I think is a really good player, but just keeps getting bad injuries. But so
that's the one I was thinking of. Yeah, Fofana definitely. Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's a good pick. And like you said, being able to get into that Chelsea team with some slightly more value picks is good, I think, with how well we both seem to think they'll do this year. So, and I've actually owned his Fulham card when he was at Fulham, and he's actually a really decent scorer. He was at Fulham, struggled to get in the Chelsea team a little bit last year with all the competition they've got there. But yeah, extremely good in the air as well. So if they're going to get a lot of set pieces through fouls and whatever, he's probably going to get a few goals next year as well, I'd imagine.
Yeah, and while I'm here, I'm going to do my midfielder.
Nice.
I'm going to go for Lucas Paqueta, looking very happy now. Obviously wasn't so happy last season. I would have gone Alex Scott, ex-Bristol City legend, who had a great Euros with the England under 21s or under 23s when they won before he got injured near the end, didn't he? But he was playing really well. 90% on start first game, but they're away to Liverpool. There'll be a lot of emotion around Anfield, so I didn't fancy having Alex Scott in for that first game, but I think he'd be great. It's £2 or £3. I think he's great. I said great like 6 times to describe him already, so great. But I didn't go. Instead of going £2 or £3, I'm going to spend 17 quid-ish on Paqueta. Great player. Was in the Brazil squad, wasn't he? Then he got that gambling ban hanging over him for getting booked on purpose, but they threw that out. No one cares.
Nah, it's fine. Just crack on, mate. Just win some money for your mates back home. No probs.
Yeah. So yeah, now he's back. He's fine. That gambling problem's off his shoulders. can get back on Bet365, and I think he gets back to top form. He's just a class player, and I think I thought he was 17-ish last time I saw. 13 he went as low as today, 16-ish. Yes, around that mark. I think that's a tasty player.
Okay. He's
Question marks over West Ham. But there is talent in the West Ham squad. And if he can get back to top form, I really like him. If you haven't got 17 quid, Alex Scott for 3 quid and just ignore the first game.
I think I do think that thing was hanging over his performances a lot last year. And it's like, if you look at his Sorare scores from the year before, like, you'll see how elite he was. And like, if he can get back to those levels from the season before last, it could be a very good player. I actually bought 2 of his classic cards as I saw the news breaking that he wasn't going to get banned, and I bought his classic cards for the bare minimum 0.0002 for like 50p. So, hopefully I'll at least be able to make a bit of profit on that, because I do think he'll have a good season. So I like it.
Perfect. All right, your midfielder.
So my midfielder is Bergvall from Spurs.
Oh, 150 now is. You can sell on, mate. Make some profit.
No, I should do. I've gone for Bergvall from Spurs. Very good young player. One of the bright sparks. Obviously, Tottenham won the Europa League, so there was a few bright spots then. But in terms of their season as a whole, I think they were pretty disappointed as a fan base with how they were performing in the Premier League. But Bergvall was certainly someone they raved about. I was at the Everton-Tottenham game at Goodison last year, and he was their best player by far for Spurs. Very, very good young player. There is a lot of competition for places at Spurs, but I do think that Maddison injury is going to help his game time a little bit. I think he had a little injury himself, actually. Bergvall, but he was on the bench, I think, in the Super Cup today, so he's definitely about. But yeah, I think they're going to push forward. Papi Gay, is it Papi Gay they've got in midfield into the Maddison role, and then Bergvall will play that deeper line role. So yeah, I think he'll do really well. He's available for dirt cheap. I think he's around £2 for an in-season card, if I'm not mistaken. That is what has been auctioning for. But yeah, I think he'll do well, paired with the fact I think Spurs will do a lot better this season. So
about £5, 6 quid.
The wrong number, but yeah, decent value, and I think he can definitely still get better at 19 years old.
Yeah, who were you saying was being pushed up? They got Solanke in there, and Kudos and Johnson.
Is it
Bentancur, Paulinho,
Papi Gay,
Papa Sarr?
Oh, Papa Sarr, that's it. Sorry, not Papi Gay. Thinking of someone else.
Paulinho.
Yeah,
I like it. I like getting a young player in, like the old days of Sorare when you used to get an investment in for the long term.
Yeah.
19, big career, and Swedish international as well, isn't he, already?
Yeah.
There you go. All right, so Bergvall in the midfield for you. Another nice cheap. You are sticking to this very budget. I like it.
Yeah, I'm going cheap here. Obviously, there's going to be better value options, and the ones Ricky's saying are obviously that little higher budget, which is still good budget too. But yeah, I've gone cheapies.
Okay, do you want to do your forward?
So I have gone for Callum Wilson as my budget forward. So once again, going that proper budget of quite low, but yeah, still only 33. Does seem like he's been around for a very long time. 33 isn't that old. I know he's had a lot of injuries. Everyone famously knows he's had injuries, but I think if you take his last couple of seasons or season and a half, I don't think he's actually had that many injuries. I think he's just been behind Isaac, and Isaac's been absolutely ripping up the Premier League, isn't he? Let's be honest. So it's been difficult for him to get game time. And there's no denying he's a proven Premier League goal scorer. He's a very good player, puts himself about. West Ham have obviously got, what's his name? German striker. Fulkrug, who's had a really good pre-season. And is a very good player himself, but he's also injury prone. So I do think Wilson's going to get quite a lot of chance at West Ham. They've lost Antonio. I think they've released his contract. So he's the second in line, and I think at well, the instant buy was like £3.50. So I'd imagine his previous auctions have been going for even less than that.
£1.70.
Well, I think that's, if you look at the prices right now, that's a bargain, in my opinion. For a Premier League striker who's 33, he must have scored 50 plus goals in the Premier League, if not more, right? So he's got the quality to do it.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, at worst he's going to be an impact sub, isn't he? Because Fulkrug's not going to make 90 very often. No. I don't think. Come on. That's really cheap. You don't see that price range around very much. So Callum Wilson for you. Yeah. My forward, I did think Solanke. I liked, but he was pushing up in price. Larson at Wolves, thought of as well. Liked him. Evan Nilsson came into my thinking, but I went proper cheap and went for Thiago, new forward at Brentford.
He was injured, wasn't he? They bought him last year, and then he got immediately injured and out for the whole season, basically.
Yeah, as in, like Mbeumo, Vissa going, him and
new starting striker for them now.
Yeah, he's now the man. £5 today he's been going for regularly. Starting striker, £5.
Was a very good player when he was in Belgium, wasn't he?
You have to go way back to find the massive scores that you see here with the shiny 4 decisives and the hundreds. He was obviously bought with a lot of promise. Hasn't worked out.
He was bought to replace Tony. He was the guy to come in and replace Tony. I don't think they quite realised how well Mbeumo and Vissa would do replacing Tony.
But now the decks have been cleared for him, essentially. They're all fucking off, and he's going to play. He's going to be a forward. Brentford might struggle. We did both talk about them being 18th in our predictions, but £5 for a starting striker who had a lot of promise before being injury riddled. I like that price. So I went for the lower price option. Yeah. And Brentford have got Forest first up, which isn't a terrible first fixture. Not the greatest, but not the worst. So I went for him, Thiago, and then I'll finish off my team and we'll go back to you. I went for an Everton player.
Yes.
Let me get him. It's not Grealish.
Is it Jake O'Brien?
It is Jake O'Brien.
Yes, I always did Jake O'Brien, but it was too high for my own budget that I set.
Jake O'Brien, he's probably gone up a little bit now because Branthwaite's injured, wasn't he? Yeah. So he is now £6 today, £6, an instant buy for 12. Yeah, so he's going for about £6. Jake O'Brien, I got his 1 of 100 rare last season based on your Everton pre-season predictions. Yeah, I don't think he's that flashy a pick, is he? His L15 and L5 doesn't set you alight, but Everton are very good defensively, as you let us know, on the regular. And if he wasn't nailed before, with Branthwaite out as well, he's definitely nailed now.
I like it. I like it a lot, Rick. So he is nailed. He was nailed to start right back first game, in my opinion, because that was where he came into the team last year and did so well for us under Moyes at right back. He's like 6'8", and he's one of the paciest guys in the team. He's strong as a fucking ox as well, and he was so close to scoring about 7 goals for us last season. Before he came to us, he was Lyon's joint top goal scorer in League One. From centre back, so he's definitely going to do well this season, I think. But I think now with the Branthwaite injury, it's either he'll go into centre back, and then someone else will come into right back, like Coleman or Garner potentially, as in James Garner. He's done that a little bit in pre-season, or Michael Keane will go into centre back, and Jake O'Brien will stay right back. Either way, Jake O'Brien is definitely playing, in my opinion. Hopefully, that's not going to be wrong.
He's a goal threat. And I think, with Branthwaite, he's so nailed now. And
we haven't discussed this yet, but now we've got Grealish is the most fouled player in Premier League history. Ndiaye gets fouled all the time. If we're going to sign, we signed Dewsbury Hall, we're just going to be getting so many balls piled into the boxes from free kicks that we've got Tarkovsky, O'Brien, like Bramford when he's fit. There's going to be some goals in the back line for Everton this year, for sure.
Leeds is a good fixture first up as well. And yeah, I can't believe Michael Keane will still be playing Premier League football, but he's only a couple of quid if you want to just go for the real dirt cheap Everton defensive option and pick up Michael Keane instead. Like
Big Mick Kegger, what a lad.
Things are rough if that's what it's got to. £5 is Garner as well if you want to get into that route. He's either going to play midfield or right back, like you said, so he might be a good one as well. So I think
he might only get into the team at right back now with all the centre midfielders we're buying. But
yeah, so there we go. I'm going to go Jake O'Brien. I think Leeds first up, Branthwaite out. There is actually value in picking up Everton backline. So there we go.
I love it. My final one is non-Everton, so you're the only one that's put Everton in the team. Incredible. So my final pick is Sven Botman from Newcastle. Very, very good centre-back who had a very good first season for Newcastle, then got a really bad injury, didn't he? Missed a lot of football. But yeah, very, very good player. Like, if you just watch him play football, like, he's a very, very good centre-back. We've discussed how I think Newcastle might not quite hit the heights that they did last year, but will still do well this season. So I do think there'll still be a good stack to have players from. I guess maybe the fact that he's like I think he's about £3-4 auction at the moment, but the fact is that value is potentially just because they have 3 good centre backs at Newcastle. Whether they play Dan Burn maybe it is sort of left back instead, and then put Livramento at right back, but then that means Trippier drops out or whatever. So there's a little bit of an up in the air about who exactly is going to take up the back four for Newcastle. But I'd like to think Botman's probably going to be the main guy there.
I think yeah. He's working his way back from full fitness, isn't he? So it might be Schär and Burn to start.
Yeah, this is what I mean. Like, I just think he's got more value in the future if he just starts putting some games together like he was prior to his injury. That even if you don't want to play him, like, you could probably turn over double his price you paid for him now at £3-4 and sell him for £6-7 in a few weeks' time or a month or whatever. So I just think he's good value at that price.
Yeah, you think Newcastle have got Hall to come back and you Botman work his way to full fitness, Fial to come in. So yeah, their defence is probably going to look a bit different after the first few weeks of the season. But yeah, he's a very classy player if he can stay fit. £4. All right, good stuff. S05 budget lineups done. We've got 3 things left to do, so we'll race through. I am just going to do us a quick golden spin break.
Oh, yes. I love golden spins.
Golden spin break.
Saw someone got a star limited on their golden spin earlier.
I got a very healthy credits.
Do some more spins. Go on. Let's have some more.
I got about 30 quid on credits, yeah. Awesome. So, all right, while I'm spinning, why don't you start talking us through your toilet tip for the year?
Yeah, so, okay, I like it. So, toilet tip.
Toilet tip is our random pick of someone under the radar, not fancied, and why they're going to be good this year.
It's a broad definition of what toilet tip means,
as
we've had it in our show for a few years. But I've gone for someone that I think is undervalued right now. And I've gone for McAtee.
Oh,
it's from Man City, technically, right now. But getting rumoured to be moving to Forest. He got rumoured with a few other teams as well, Everton included, obviously, because we always get linked to everything.
Everton get linked to everything.
Very good player, very good Euro, under 21s Euros, under 23s Euros, whichever one it was, for England. Very, very skillful, good player. I feel like Man City selling it could be another Palmer for them, where they're going to really regret it in a way. they do have to sell players at the end of the day because the ones they're buying, they have to meet PSR. But yeah, I think they could end up regretting selling McAtee, and I think he'll do really well for Forest. It's kind of like that change of pace player. I think he's like a really thoughtful player. Forest have famously in the last couple of years been a very like counter-attacking, play on the break, like really pacey team. I think McAtee is more of like the get the ball, play the ball, control the game a bit. He's really good left-footed player. Yeah, I think he'll do really well. So I think his value was, what was his last auction? It's like £7, £8, £8.
£8.
Okay, so I just think there's value in that, and I think he's still obviously got that under 23 utility for a couple more years yet as well, which helps. So yeah,
he's definitely going Forest.
It seems pretty likely. Is getting all the no's. Fabrizio, I think, tweeted about it yesterday. Sasha, what's his name, tweeted about it as well. So
it feels very cheap. £8.
Yeah, I think that's what I mean. That's why it's my toilet tip, mate. I think could be really good. Obviously, Forest aren't Man City, but
because there's a bit of doubt over Forest, but he's stuck in a Langer replacement, I guess.
Yeah.
That feels really £8 feels really cheap. So Sheffield United card down there, £2.50.
Toilet tips for you to go and buy one. There we go. You go and buy one.
I mean, I think that's a really good price. If he's nailed going there, £8.
He's not staying at Man City. So he also got rumoured with a few German teams earlier in the transfer window. I think it was Leipzig and Eintracht Frankfurt. I think he was literally pictured there in Germany, going to see the facilities and stuff like that. I think he ended up sort of shelving it a little bit because he wanted to stay in the Premier League. But I think it's worth picking one up for £8 and seeing what happens in the next few weeks. Because even if he does leave the Premier League, you're going to have an in-season Bundesliga card, in-season whatever card, aren't you? So,
tell you what, I like it. I think £8 good. And now my golden spin will reward me with credits so I can buy a. No, 500.
Literally the worst
when I buy him, I'll put 500. I'll put the XP on him. That's what I'll do. All right, me. Toilet tip for the year is someone I wasn't too familiar with until I started searching around lineups and who I wanted to buy at reasonable prices for my team, for my entries, trying to scoop up some hot streaks. It's Yasin Ayari at Brighton and Hove Albion, Swedish under 23 international. He's played got 12 caps already. Tasty.
Yeah, decent player.
What have I written about him? Swedish international, young, so lots of room for improvement. Because if you're young, that means you've got lots of room for improvement, and that's how it works. He's had 2 championship loans to get experience in the last 2 seasons, and he is predicted to start the opening game based on Sorare Inside. And with Baleba, I'm a Baleba. He's a wanted man. He could find one of his CM rivals out the door. That's what I wrote.
Wow.
And then I wrote a veritable bargain at £5 with international utility.
I love it. It's a decent one. I remember him scoring a very good goal right near the end of the season for Brighton. Top bins from outside the box. He's a good player. And it does seem that Brighton just bloody churn out great players left, right and centre these days. So
I think they're a really fun S05 team, like Matoma, Minter, Baleba, Matt
Tell
O'Reilly.
me someone else.
Now, apparently.
Yeah, someone else, actually, whilst we're here. Look up Matt's Wifer, or Vifa, however you say his name.
Yeah.
He had a bit of a weird season for Brighton last year where he covered quite a few positions for them. But if you look at his scores from when he was in Holland, so the season before last, go on. See, you can see he's got it in the locker there. He's got 190 in his last 10 games. If you go back to Feyenoord's, keep going.
Can't grab the bar. There we go.
Here we go. Look at this. He has got it in the locker. Like he could be a good card as well, potentially. I think he's about £8 for an in-season card as well. So if you're fancying Brighton to have a good season, there's a few good
£6.92, £7, £7.
There's a few good value picks at Brighton, and
Brighton in class.
Vifer and Ayari will be Chelsea's midfielders for 200 million in 3 years' time. That's what happens, isn't it?
I think the levels of where Brighton can finish, they could actually end up really high as well. Like another 5-6 quid. The problem is lots of fun players to stack, isn't they, at Brighton? Problem is there's loads of options. Like Buscagli, Cardioglu.
It's the thing now.
Veltman.
Like when we were going through the top 7 earlier, obviously we got down to Newcastle. You obviously had Man United in there as well. But like, I didn't have Man United in. Brighton are quality. I think Everton are probably going to do decent this year. Like at least be around 10th. Like there's no easy games in the Premier League, it seems, ever now. Except for Southampton away last year, which Everton managed to lose 1-0. But this is the teams are all so good now. There's so many good players left, right, and centre, isn't there? It's impossible.
Yeah. So for me, Yassin Ayari, didn't know too much about him last season, but as I was doing my research start of the season, sort of fell in love with this guy. So he was mine, and you had Maxi, which I really liked as well. So those are our toilet tips. Maybe we'll have a little competition between our toilet tips as well, Yari versus Maxi, to go alongside Grealish versus Mbuemo. We'll do some sort of contest from these in the next podcast. That's another good idea. And we are just going to finish up, because we've gone really fucking long, even though we're meant to just do an hour, and we're already over an hour and a half.
Why do we even say?
Not once in our life have we ever been paid. We're going to do a very quick smash and pass, but we're just going to give them a smash or a pass rather than going into detail. But of course, we have to play the video.
Smash or pass? Will they rise or will they crash? So rare stars or so rare trash? It's time for Smash or Pass.
It's time for Smash or Pass. I'm going to give you 6 Premier League transfers, and you're going to tell me whether they're going to smash from a so rare sense or pass from a so rare sense at our new clubs. We're going to lead off with Dan, who's come from Bologna to Nottingham Forest. These are his previous scores. Shiny column of 100 in there. Steady on. He costs, looking at 25 quid. 17, 20-ish quid. Dan forward card, Nottingham Forest. What say you?
Smash in terms of, I think he'll do well at Forest. I think we've had this issue before. I think 25 quid's quite expensive, so I'd probably pass at that value, but I think he'll do really well. So it's a bit of a weird smashy pass thing, but I'm going to go for smash.
Yeah. All right, smash. Yeah, it's really hard because the price is so skewed, but it's because you're trying to win the extra hot streak money to start with, aren't you? 20 quid for Dan, Nottingham Forest. I think there's a bit of uncertainty about Nottingham Forest, so I'm going to say pass.
And they're going to have Europe next year, aren't they? So
yeah. Let's go for a player we just talked about briefly. Buscagli at Brighton obviously was a fucking so rare smasher over in Holland. He was the own card. L40 is still 71, L15 67, at L5 65. Everton in his second game this season. Was really good. Really good in Holland. Now at Brighton, in a bit of a competition to even get a place. But he costs 15 quid for an in-season card. What say you, Oliver Buscagli? Smash or pass?
I'm going to say pass, because he's never going to hit the heights he had at PSV. He's like one of those weird, like legends of the game. Like everyone knows that's on Sorare. I know him. I've never actually owned him, but like I know how good he scores, and I've never watched him play football in my entire. Have you? I've never actually watched him play. I mean, it must be good because Sorare, it's very rare for someone to be shit at football and score really well, and so he must be decent, I'm guessing. But I wouldn't be able to give you an informed opinion of him, so I don't know what he's going to play like. I do think he's not going to do as well score wise for Brighton. There's obviously rotation risk, I guess, as well, just playing in a much higher standard of league. So I'll go for a pass at £15.
Okay. I think he might be in a fight to even have a place behind. I think he might be third choice to start off with anyway, so it's going to be a pass from me. But he's a bit of a legend of the game, but yeah, I think he's not going to hit those heights. Let's go for Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. I had to give you an Everton player. Come over from Chelsea, where he basically just played in the Conference League and did fuck all else. He is going for over 20 quid for an Everton player.
Mr. National Trust himself. In Dewsbury Hall.
Mr. National Trust. Scarce scoring history.
Oh, okay. This is going to sound like I'm talking out my ass. I've always really rated him. I wanted us to sign him.
Shut up.
No, I fucking promise you on my life, I can show you the receipts on my phone on Bristol Toffees. I talked about Dewsbury Hall when he was at Leicester, and when he won Championship Player of the Season for Leicester when they got promoted back into the Premier League. I think he had 30 goals and assists combined. Obviously, I know it's a Championship, but the Championship's not an easy league. Anyway, he went to Chelsea to sit on the rot on the bench and play Europe, and that was basically it. And it's no mean feat to not get in the starting centre midfielders at Chelsea behind Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, all their bloody 50 million trillion pound players. He's come in, he wants the ball. He was man of the match in the game in his first pre-season game against Roma, even though we lost. So all this quite obviously leads to me saying he's going to be a fucking smash, mate. Get him in, start him in all your teams every week for the rest of the time.
Everton haven't been associated with good attack scoring players, really, have they?
What?
From a Sorare perspective, it was basically Dwight McNeil season, and that was it.
Iliman and
But based on your passionate description there and me slating Everton for most of the rest of the podcast, fuck it, let's say a smash. Why not?
Yes.
Maybe I'll get one just for the fun. Two more quick ones. Let's do a Man United player for balance. Mateus Cunha.
Pass.
Was wicked at Wolves, wasn't he? For a Wolves team that wasn't that great. Absolutely tore it up. Can be a bit of a diva apparently, but yeah.
The thing is, though, is I think he's not a diva. He's just I don't think he's a diva in the sense that he'd be a complete dick. I think he wants to fucking win. And I think, annoyingly, Man United needed a few more of them players. Someone like Bruno, much as I fucking hate watching Bruno, he's such a whingy little bitch. But if United had if any team had like 3 or 4 people like Bruno in their team, they wouldn't lose that many games. And I think Cunha is going to be one of those players that will probably do really well for you, which is really annoying. But you do still have a shit goalkeeper. But I mean, you haven't told us his price. What's his new in-season price? I'm guessing
40 quid and change, 40 something.
Of course, it's dear. It is dear.
It's expensive Man United tax, but
and once again, he's going from somewhere where he was the guy to somewhere where he's not going to be necessarily the only guy. There's going to be, Bruno's probably going to be taking penalties, but I do think he'll be well. He's another one like the first one we did, where I think he'll do really well. So smash, but in terms of price, I'd probably rather pick up some other cards.
Keep your Cole Palmers and your Verts at those horrendous prices. I'm having a Cunha all day. 45 quid, bargain. Going to absolutely smash.
Put money where your mouth is then. Go buy one.
We're back. I've just got to buy a Kiernan Dewsbury all now, mate, and an Onana. I haven't got all the money in the world. Smash, Cunha. And let's do one more. I'm a goalkeeper, so we have to do a goalkeeper. Can't remember how to spell his name, though.
Hermanson?
No. Jordi It's Petrovic, isn't it?
Oh, Petrovic. Yeah, Petrovic.
Petrovic. There he is.
Very good. Very good player. Very good keeper.
You're not seeing the screen, so you missed all me misspelling his name over and over again and not be able to find him in the search column. Jordi Petrovic, gone from Chelsea to Bournemouth. They had Kepa last year. This time they've got Petrovic. He is 40 odd quid. So 20 quid more than an Onana. So my question to you, would you rather have a Petrovic or an Onana?
Well, United should have bought Petrovic. He's way better than Onana. But
it's not my question. If you were buying a player
I'd probably rather have Petrovic, to be honest with you. I'm not even trying to piss you off. I think he's a very good player. You mentioned earlier in the show, I think he could have been Chelsea's number one goalkeeper. I think he's a really, really good goalkeeper. Smashed it in France, didn't he, with Strasbourg?
Scores!
Chris the team. He's insanely good. He's got international utility. Yeah, it's a baffling one that Chelsea got rid of him, in my opinion.
Yeah,
but
really good. I think Chelsea should have kept him and played him instead of Sanchez, like you said. Class, he's still kind of young, and he mid-20s. So, yeah, going to be hard.
I do think Bournemouth won't be that as strong a stack as defensively as they were with all their players they've got rid of, and just even though they've bought good players, it will just take time for them to gel as a back five. So there's going to be a lot of change, a lot of issues, probably miscommunication. But I think he's a really good goalkeeper. But once again, I think he'll do well at Bournemouth, but I wouldn't be buying him at £45.
Yeah, I wouldn't be buying him at £45. I think he'll be a very successful long-term hold. But he's not my Premiership goalie, because I think Bournemouth rotated the whole defence over, haven't they? So they could just get stomped. We'll stop smash or pass there. We'll save for more for the next podcast, because we've been going on a really long time. I'm just going to finish up with showing off what we've got so far for our Premier League cards. I imagine yours is just going to be 10 Everton cards that you used to get tickets for the first game.
Yes, I got lucky, didn't I? I don't think I've announced it on the show, but yes. 1-2 tickets to the first ever game at Bramley Moor, and I'm taking yours truly, Ricky T, Everton closet supporter, and we are off to Bramley Moor. Exciting.
We're off to the hill, Dickie. Yeah, so my strategy for Sorare 26 Premier League so far was meant to be ignore them all, don't play it because it costs loads of money. But I got FOMO real quickly, and I started playing it. Just going to stick to limited, playing for the streaks, make the most of the 2 max stack and the Cat 260 rule to try and get those bonuses in, because I'm not going to have the absolute premium players. Just can't afford them. So I've been aiming at United, West Ham, Wolves, Everton and Brighton, I think, so far. Was sort of where I was looking at. Picking up pairs of players and making 2 or 3 squads in the end. So far, I've got Todibo, Thiago, who I spoke about earlier, Kilman, Fofana. Hopefully, he can get back to peak fitness and get back in the squad. And then we've got João Gomez and Manuel Ugarte. Ugarte I got for the promo because I got FOMO and I only won 100 essence. So that's what we've got so far. So I've only got 6. So still a little bit of work to do. And let's have a look at DawNado's gallery.
Yep, so you won't be surprised to know it's 11 Everton players and that's it. That's all I've bought. So who cares about the 2 player per team cap? Because I don't. However, I did just fork out for Bramford yesterday, and then he tore his hamstring today, so that's really great. But yeah, I'm just going to be running 2 Everton stacks, probably with my classic Pickfords. Not this weekend, because I still need to buy a few players. My plan was, I'll wait for the prices to go down from the start. They're just not going down, are they? They're literally just, I'm like, I'll pick up Ndai when he goes like to sort of 12 to 15. It's like every auction, £25, £25, £25. I've also got to that horrific time, which you've probably not got to for a very long time. I've run out of credits. I've got no credits. Every time I'm looking at auction instant buy, in my head, I'm thinking, right, 50% off. And I go to buy it and I'm like, fuck, it's full price. So I don't buy it. So I'm hoping for some nice spinny wheels or some nice prizes coming up in the next few weeks where I've got some more credits. But yeah, I've got a full Everton stack there for this weekend, which is probably going to be Beto, Idrissa Gueye, Jake O'Brien, and maybe Alcaraz or Barry. It's not. Yeah, I probably need to buy one more player because that was what my brand pick was. He was my 4th outfielder, so I need to maybe have another look. But yeah, it's going to be that. It's also going to be whatever we craft in next week's bumper show. I'm going to build a little team around whoever we craft. Hoping to get a few little cheeky Premier League players in there, maybe from that.
Yeah, so a lot of Everton there. Fuck your 2 club max rule.
Yeah,
it doesn't count when you've got Everton. All right, so that's the cards we're currently running. But as you said, next week, Premier League cards go into the crafting pool, and we've got like 35 crafts by the time it comes around to do between us. So we might have to split it up into 2 videos because That's going to be wild. But
we
we're going to have
do
one
video because we like to do 2 hour videos anyway. So
everyone likes to watch 2 hours of us in one go. But yeah, we will be back next week with monster crafting sessions. Huge. I got a couple of super rares to go. We've got a lot of limiteds. I'm excited. I've started to see people do it now. Learn some tactics and smash it out of the park. But we're going to stop here for the Premier League preview on the Sorare Lounge. Another podcast in the bank. Thanks for all of your help, Johnny. I don't usually say that. I'm just trying to think of something to say. Yeah, if you're still here, we really appreciate you watching. If you could like, subscribe, and all that vibe on the way out, it means a lot to us and helps us keep the lights on at STC. We will be back next week for crafting goodness, rewards and crafting. We're very excited for that one. But for now, good luck in the first week of the Premier League campaign. Hit those hot streaks, bring home those $25. Good luck to you all. Buy an Anana, buy a Kin and Dewsbury Hall, and have a good time. But for now, from me, it's a Viva La Thursday Cup. And from him,
up the fucking toffees. Super Jackie Grealish.
See you all next week for some crafting goodness.